Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
2 DNA experts were called in to testify in the hearing in Crystal Rogers' case today, including a supervisor with the KSP Forensic Crime Lab. And thanks for joining us here on WHAS11 News at 5. I'm Connie Leonard. Today, Steve Lawson and his team of attorneys appeared in front of a judge to ask for additional DNA testing. Well, with this trial just 6 weeks away, it's a request that would surely delay the proceedings, forcing Crystal's family to wait it out even longer. Shay McAllister and photojournalist Jessica Farley take us to Nelson County.
The conversation around additional testing on 2 hairs found inside Crystal Rogers' abandoned car continued in the courthouse today. The prosecutor is calling it a fishing expedition by the defense, an attempt to delay the trial, while the defense is saying Steve Lawson has a constitutional right to see the results. In a passionate plea to the judge, Special Prosecutor Shane Young asked he deny the defense's request for additional DNA testing.
So what has to be determined is, what will we gain from testing these hairs versus these victims' rights to go to trial?
Physically pointing to Crystal Rogers' family, seated in the second row, asking he not make them wait any longer. Steve Lawson's trial starts just 6 weeks from tomorrow.
The victim in this case has filed a notice that they want the trial to go forward with unreasonable delay, and that the Supreme Court, as well as the Kentucky Constitution, states that they have no less rights than the defendant.
Steve Lawson's attorneys are asking the judge to allow additional DNA testing on 2 hairs found in Crystal Rogers' abandoned maroon sedan, one found on the driver's seat and a second on the floorboard.
None of us are qualified to stipulate as to who hairs belong to or who they don't belong to.
In court documents, the attorneys allege someone could have tampered with Rogers' vehicle after it was abandoned by Steve and Joseph Lawson. It also mentions the possibility of the hair coming back linked to Brooks Houck's brother, Nick Houck.
Mr. Lawson has a fundamental right through due process to have these hairs tested.
The prosecution disagrees, saying the hair doesn't match Nick's, and if they do find a match with someone else, it won't clear the Lawsons, who already admitted to moving Crystal's car, their part in the crime.
Once the car is moved and Steve Lawson's removed items from the car, by his own admission, the tampering offense has occurred.
The judge then cut off that conversation
I don't need any more DNA.
and ended the hearing. The judge gave both teams of attorneys 48 hours to submit anything additional on this topic. He said he plans to make a decision later this week. In Nelson County, I'm Shay McAllister, WHAS 11 on your side.
Brooks Houck and Joseph Lawson, the other 2 men charged in this case, are set to go to trial at the end of June. Well, the attorneys for Matt, Glenna, and Jonah Bevan were in court this morning. Attorneys for Jonah pressed Judge Angela Johnson to allow Jonah a restraining order against his adoptive mother, Glenna, and it was granted by the judge. Jonah already has an emergency protective order against his dad, Matt Bevan. The judge also ordered Matt and Glenna Bevan's attorneys to hand over information about Jonah's birth parents as soon as possible. The Bevans will be back in court next week to determine if Jonah can remain a third party in Matt and Glenna's ongoing divorce case. All right, well, we've been talking about such a great day out there. Lots of folks taking advantage of it, Mallory, but some folks may see a little rain tonight, right?
Yeah, that's right. We do have a cold front that's swinging through the region for the next couple of hours, so we do have a window where some isolated showers and thunderstorms, a few of which could be strong, will be the case this evening. We're taking a live look now to our First Savings Bank U of L health camera from Jeffersonville over the downtown Louisville skyline. Temperatures today made it up to 81 degrees. That was during the 1 o'clock hour when we had a bit more sunshine. Temperatures at this point in the mid-70s. Cloud cover has really increased through the afternoon. Wind speeds have also increased today, coming in from the west around 16 miles per hour. That's your sustained wind, with higher gusts up to about 30 miles per hour. Dew points also increasing into the 50s, so it might feel a little bit muggier out there compared to what we had over the weekend. But take a look at these temperatures across Kentucky, and already cooling things off with the front. You can see in southern Indiana, temperatures are in the 60s, 63 with some rain-cooled air in Madison. Madison. We're at 76 in Louisville, 76 in Shepherdsville, Bartstown, Hodgenville, Munfordville as well, 79 still in Columbia. Satellite and radar showing some of those isolated showers and thunderstorms sparking up this afternoon and early evening. They're really picking up speed and more so intensity once they're off to our east. So more so along and east of I-75, but we will be watching our eastern counties east of I-65 pretty closely because we are included in that severe thunderstorm watch until 11 p.m. Once again, this is east of Louisville, east of I-65 primarily. Futurecast here, you can see not really lining up super well. We do have that threat for storms over the next few hours. We'll be watching that radar with you throughout this evening. Otherwise, tonight we dry out and clear out. Quieter weather for the next few days. We'll take a look at that 7-day forecast coming up shortly.
Thanks, Mallory. Kentuckiana, thank you for joining us Saturday for the Rising Above the Storm telethon here at WHAS11. We raise money for the American Red Cross. $40,000 is going to flood victims across the region because of you. WHAS11's Alexandra Goldberg tells us exactly where your dollars are going.
Hello. Thanks for calling the Red Cross Telethon.
Kentuckiana, your contributions to the local American Red Cross chapter raised close to $40,000 in one night.
So how much would you like to donate today?
WHAS11 hosted a fundraiser Saturday in lieu of a canceled Thunder over Louisville to raise money for families affected by the recent floods.
And people were just so gracious in opening up their hearts, but as well as their pocketbooks to help make a difference, because any amount and every amount helps make an impact.
Many of you asked where your donations are going, and Amber Youngblood was quick to answer. From toiletries,
shampoo, toothpaste, tissues,
to beds for 24 Red Cross shelters across Kentuckiana.
So these boxes contain cots that we can assemble and disassemble.
And to tools to help in the cleanup. For families cleaning the mud out of their homes, donor dollars go to these Red Cross cleaning kits, including supplies like heavy-duty gloves, scrubber brushes, and bleach.
Telethons allow us to be able to reach more people than what we can with our lean staff, and having that visibility and that connectivity really showcased Saturday night.
Matt Gibson, president and CEO of the Kentucky Derby Festival, says part of the nonprofit's mission is to be an economic driver, whether it's through events like Thunder over Louisville or through partnerships like this.
Where I've watched GE Appliances, match the donations, watched El Nopal come in and do that. I hear the phones ringing even when we're standing out here in the anteroom. It's just amazing, and it is phenomenal. It speaks volumes about this great community that we live in.
Thunder over Louisville producer Wayne Hettinger says he's proud the attention has turned towards the ones who need it most.
The reaction and the way everybody's coming together to unite, it doesn't happen in any other community the way it does here.
Moving forward, as the waters recede out of homes and communities, these trucks are en route to help families with the aftermath. In Louisville, Alexandra Goldberg, WHAS11 on your side.
The Kentucky Derby Festival is also selling Pegasus pins. You can find them at grocery stores, gas stations, and other retailers. They say the small purchase can really help them recover revenue lost with Thunder's cancellation. In other news, a motorcyclist is dead after a crash with a garbage truck. Metro Police say it happened shortly before 2 this morning on Dixie Highway near the Mire in Valley Station. Now, police say the man on the motorcycle hit the garbage truck head on and died at that scene. Police say no charges are expected. And Metro Police are looking for a suspect in a deadly Russell neighborhood shooting. That happened around 8:30 last night on West Chestnut near Dr. W.J. Hodge Street. Officers found a man shot multiple times. He was taken to the hospital where he died. Anyone with information in that case is asked to call the anonymous tip line, the number 574-LMPD. And a woman accused of stabbing a nurse outside of Jewish hospital is now behind bars on $100,000 bond. LMPD said 35-year-old Lacey Wilson approached the nurse around 7:15 Saturday morning as she was leaving her shift and began arguing with her. Police say Wilson then knocked the nurse down, pulled out a screwdriver, and began stabbing her in the back. Wilson was arrested a short time later. The nurse was treated at the hospital. In a statement, U of L Health said it's increased security and measures around the hospital. Wilson is charged with assault and evading police. In court today, she pleaded not guilty and was appointed a public defender. She's due back in court April 22nd. The man accused in a carjacking and police chase appeared in court today. The carjacking happened around 10 Saturday night at Yorktown Senior House on National Turnpike. Arrest records say Montrell Thompson approached the victim and demanded the keys to their car before eventually pulling out a gun and hitting them over the head with it. Police say the gun went off, but the bullet did not hit the victim. Police say Thompson then took the car and got away. He was eventually stopped and arrested. He's charged with robbery and possession of a handgun by a convicted felon. In court today, Thompson was assigned a public defender. His bail was set at $50,000 cash. He's due back in court April 22nd. Waterfront Park remains closed today after historic flooding. The Ohio River is just over 17 feet. That's well below flood stage, according to the National Water Prediction Service. But check out some of the massive tree debris that city crews are now dealing with. Volunteers came out on Saturday to help pick up some of the mess, but it could take weeks before it's clear. Mayor Craig Greenberg is very optimistic, though, that they can get it done before Derby 3 weeks from now.